Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing really well. Today I wanted to sit down and talk all about how I vlog. So I have been creating videos since 2011. It's now 2019, so that's 8 years, which is so crazy. And a question that I see often in Q&As is how to vlog. What are my tips? What equipment do I use? Do I have just like general pieces of advice that have been really helpful to me? So whether you already have a channel or you're already vlogging, or if you are completely new to this, I hope that this video will be helpful and give you guys some really good tips and like insider information that I hope you guys are going to find really helpful. The first thing that I think is really important when it comes to vlogging, being a blogger, or any digital influencer or blogger of sorts, is to know why you're doing something. So what is your purpose? I want to start with this because I think these are the fundamental kind of like pillars of your channel or of your blog or your brand. It's what your content is going to be built around. It's what's going to get you fired up to make videos and get you out of bed and keep you motivated and inspired. So my purpose and my why has always been to inspire people and to help people and to go after their best selves, like their best versions of themselves. And that is my core. So when I build content around that, it can go from what I personally love to do for my health and wellness, you know, gym routines and food ideas and different health and wellness tips that work really well for me. But then I'm also really interested in fashion and in beauty because that approaches health and wellness and feeling great from a different perspective. So I love everything that makes us feel great. And again, everything from health and wellness to fashion to beauty to self-development. It's all like this nice big bubble of things that work really well for me that I also hope will work really well for you guys and whoever is watching my videos. You might have a slightly different why or a slightly different purpose, but I think at the end of the day, it's important to think big picture. These days, being on YouTube and having a blog or being an influencer, you can make a significant amount of money. And I think a lot of people are attracted to this career because of that, but don't do it. If that's your reason, if that's your why, it's way too much work and too much of an emotional investment to do something just for the money. And I think this is true for every industry really. If there's a job that you're not really passionate about but the money's good, then it's not gonna fulfill you, you know? And to be on YouTube and to put yourself out to thousands of people, it has to be worth it. You want to do it because you love to do it and you love YouTube and you love watching videos and you want to be part of that community. Another why or another purpose, and something that's very true for me, is that it's a creative outlet for me. So it's a place where I can fully just use my imagination and literally craft and create something which you guys might see as, you know, that's a cool video, and I hope that it does inspire you and bring you good value and that you find it nice to watch. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of filming, there's a lot of editing. You know, when you look back at it, it's a little piece of art or a little piece of your soul or a part of you that you share with the world. And it's an incredibly fun and liberating and often scary time. Sometimes you fear that you might be too vulnerable in a video and that you might be sharing too much and that you might be judged for it. So it's a really cool and special piece of work that you're sharing with somebody. So for me, that really makes me happy, although it, again, it's kind of scary sometimes. But my goal, my purpose is to inspire. It is that constant strive to be my most authentic, best version of myself in hopes that it's going to do the same for you, and then you can go out and do your dreams and live your life in your best way. So number one is knowing your why, knowing your purpose, having that be the fundamental core, you know, pillars of your brand, your channel, your Instagram, whatever it is, and then keep referring back to that when you're creating content. The second thing I want to talk about is equipment. This is a question that I get asked about a lot, and a lot of people think that you need like a huge fancy setup, but the reality is, for the most time, I use a very small point and shoot camera, which is the camera that I'm filming on right now, and this is the Canon G7X. I actually have two of these, so I can show you one of them right here. It has a flip-up screen, which is very, very helpful and just essential. You want to make sure that you are in the frame, that whatever you want to capture is actually getting captured. It's also a very light and easy camera. It's not, you know, a big DSLR, so this is what I vlog with when I'm out and about, and also what I like to make most of my videos at home with as well. I do also have the Canon 70D camera as well, which is really great. It's a little bit bigger. It's a proper DSLR camera, so the quality is a little bit better, but for some reason I really love the way that this camera shoots as well. I think the quality is great, and I love that it's just so affordable and just really easy and straightforward to use. So this is the camera that I would definitely recommend, which is again this one. And when I do vlog with this, I sometimes have it on this little tripod, and it's actually a little gorilla pod, so you can kind of bend these legs and, like, you know, hook it onto something if you want to get a shot where you're not actually holding the camera. And when I'm filming sit down videos like this, I put my camera on a large tripod, which I will show you guys now. So this is an adjustable tripod. You can make it really, really tall or a little bit shorter, but this is like a must-have for me. And then behind my tripod, I also have a ring light. This one is dimmable, so you can adjust the strength of the light, which I find really, really helpful as well. I will have all of this stuff linked below in the description box. Now, if you don't have lighting, sitting in front of a window is amazing, and that's actually what I did for the longest time. Natural lighting from a window is very, very beautiful. So if you don't have any lighting, don't worry about it. Just prop your camera up in front of a window. You know, try to make sure that the background is somewhat nice, you know, and not like too cluttered or too busy, but I think that looks really great as well. And when it comes to editing, I like to use Final Cut Pro. It's what I've been using for the last 2 or 3 years, and before that I was just using iMovie, which is the free software that comes on all MacBooks. It's also a great program. You can definitely do some great editing in that, you know, more simple and more basic, but then Final Cut Pro is really where you can have a little bit more fun with it and be a little bit more specific on certain details. If you are new to editing, or you just want to level up on your current editing skills, I would highly, highly recommend to check out some of the Skillshare courses on editing. They've got some great ones for Final Cut Pro, and there you can really learn about the cool effects that you can do and just, again, like the basics of editing. They also have great photography courses and how to take amazing pictures just with your iPhone, for example. And of course, their productivity and management courses are some of my favorites. And if you haven't heard of Skillshare yet, they are an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 different classes in everything from business to design to photography and more. There are 2 new classes that I took that I would highly, highly recommend. The first one is very relevant to this topic, and it is from Alex Center. He has an amazing course on brand building. Mo and I watched it the other day, and we were taking so many notes. It was so interesting. We learned a lot, and we got some really great takeaways from that course. So I would highly, highly recommend that one. And another one I've really been loving is from Alex Lyon, and he is a communications professor. So he's a specialist in the field of communications. I took his course on how to be more clear, concise, and confident when you speak, and I found that really, really helpful, especially also for what I do. I will have both of those 2 classes linked below, or I'll have the names of the classes below in the description box. And premium membership on Skillshare gives you unlimited access, so you can join the classes, the communities, and the groups that are perfect for you. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, your creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. So you can join more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. You can join groups to learn with like-minded learners. You can give and receive feedback on different projects, and you can speak with others who have the same interests as you. And really exciting, Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month unlimited access trial to my subscribers who click the link in the description box down below, and after that it's only about $10 a month. Moving on to my 3rd tip. This is going to be about the quality and the content. So as you guys know, one of the biggest things that I love to do with my platform is to create valuable content. So I want you guys to feel uplifted and confident and like you can go out and achieve anything that you want. So I want to deliver a great message, but I also want to make sure that the video is aesthetically pleasing and that it's beautiful to watch and that it's bright, the backgrounds are nice, and it's not too cluttered and not too busy. I want you guys to love what you're watching and to feel inspired by what you're watching. So putting some time and effort into presentation and into making sure that the lighting is good, that the settings on the camera is right so that it's not too dark, but also things like showing and not just saying. So if I'm talking about something, I love to put a B-roll clip on top of that to give you guys a more 3D idea of what it is that I'm talking about. If I'm talking about food or exercise, I love to put in little clips on top so that it gives a better full-bodied image. I think that always makes a video more interesting and more engaging to watch, so that's something that I always try to do with my videos as well. On the other side of that, I think it's also really nice to mix in some really like chill, maybe not the best lighting, you know, clips within your videos to give again like a more full-bodied view of your life. That's something that I've really been enjoying the last few years, especially in my vlogs. You guys get to see a different side of me and I get to connect with you guys on a different level, and that's really special to me. Also on content, I think it's really important to not do something just for a view or to use like clickbait titles and thumbnails and things like that, because I look at YouTube and my career online as a long-term thing, something that I will hopefully be able to keep pursuing for the next few years. And credibility and trustability, those are the most important things. Those are the reasons why people will keep watching you after years and years, and that they will develop kind of like a friendship and a feeling of like a sister to you. And if you just want to get views based on, you know, like crazy titles or crazy like thumbnail pictures, it might work for a little bit, but again, I want to think long term. I want to really have an engaged and loving audience, and I think you do that by being truthful and by being authentic and letting that, you know, carry you through and not like a crazy over-the-top dramatic thing, you know? The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to having a career online or even creating your own brand is to know how to manage your schedule. This is something that I always want to get better at this because it's hard. I do have my techniques and my apps and things like that that I use that I've talked about in different videos that really do help me to keep me organized. But you know, when you work for yourself, at the end of the day, your success is truly dependent on you. You don't have a boss, you know, waiting for you to report to work, or somebody who's going to pay you a salary at the end of the month. What you earn and your success online has everything to do with how much you apply yourself to that. I think that's great because you are really in control of your own life and of your own career. But you know, if you are transitioning from a normal 9-to-5 job and you want to start your own business, or you want to have a YouTube channel be your full-time career, you have to treat it like a real job. So either setting hours for yourself, or you know, batching filming or batching blogging, giving that structure and giving that a proper amount of time is what's going to essentially make you succeed at that, because you are making it a priority. Definitely having a plan and having structure in your day is so important when you do work for yourself, and you just have to have that self-discipline and know how to motivate yourself and to keep yourself moving forward. If you ever thought that working for yourself or being on YouTube or being an influencer is easy, it is not. My times are flexible, so that's a really nice thing, but don't think that you're just gonna, you know, sit on the couch, put your feet up and just do something on your computer and you're gonna be able to float your boat that way, because it's a lot of work. It's again a big emotional investment as well, and just being okay with being yourself and putting yourself out there. It's a whole different world and a different way of life if you compare it to having a job where you go there, you do your job, and then you get to go back home. Is it worth it? Yes, 100% if it is something that you are passionate about. But just know that it's a lot of work. So do it for the right reason. And my fifth tip that I want to share with you guys is to always think big picture. So yes, you are creating a YouTube channel or an Instagram account, but you're really creating a brand. You could refer to it as a personal brand, but you as a person on the internet making content with your own personality, thinking of fun, creative content ideas, that's all from you. That is your product, essentially. And you, the product, that is valuable, and that is something that you're gonna have with you for your whole life. So making sure that what you do, the content that you create, the brands that you work with, that they align with your brand as a whole. So for example, when you first start doing YouTube or Instagram, you might get approached by different companies who want to work with you, who want to pay you, which is such an amazing feeling, to feel like all of this energy and all this time that you've put to creating these cool videos, that somebody loves them so much that they're willing to pay for them. But it's really important here that you don't sell yourself short, and that you only work with brands that you love and that you would genuinely pay for and use, even if there was no sponsorship involved. I would say I pass on like 80% of the work that I could be doing and brands that I could be working with, because I'm really specific on this stuff. So for example, I have little sisters who are around 12 years old, and I also have a mom, of course. And I always think, before I promote a product, would I recommend it to them? Would I feel so happy and so confident if my little sister was to take my advice on this product that I was recommending, or my mom? If the answer is yes, I go for it. And if the answer is no, or even like a tweak or a hesitation about that, I don't do it, because it's not worth it for me. Again, your trust, your credibility, your honesty, your word is what makes you you. On the topic of longevity, I also think it's really important to build an audience on different platforms. So not just focusing on YouTube, or not just focusing on Instagram, but having different platforms, you know, that are slightly different and unique, but where you can build an audience. So for example, my blog and my website. I love that I have that platform, because it's, again, a different way for me to communicate with you guys, to share, to inspire. So I think just, again, building a structure and a solid ground on something like a website, or in a brand, in a product, you know, creating something on your own, so that you're not just dependent and just reliant on one platform, if that makes sense. So those are my tips for when it comes to vlogging and building a channel and building an online business of sorts, or an online brand of you. I really hope that this video was helpful, and let me know if you want me to do more videos like this. I feel like even now, as I wrap up this video, there are so many more things that I could say, but I think that these are like the good essentials to start with. But do let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and I can make a follow-up. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.